Welcome to another edition of Transpowered Leader with me, Malcolm Stephens. In this third episode, we're going to look at the various stages on how to become a transpowered leader. Apart from looking at the various stages of becoming a transpowered leader, we are also going to see the difference between a conventional leader, or what we typically call as a transactional leader, and a transformational leader. So we're going to know what is the difference between a transactional leader and a transformational leader who is truly a transpowered leader. I'd like to begin with my very own favorite quote. It goes like this: everybody wants to see magic in their lives, but very few want to be the magician. To be a truly world-class magician, one has to go through a grind. One has to go through various stages of perfecting the art to become a world-class magician. Similarly, to become a truly transpowered leader, one has to go through the various stages of learning how to become a truly transpowered leader. There's no shortcut to this. There's no easy way to it. One has to go through this grind, go through these stages to become a truly transpowered leader. I'd like to share a small story to emphasize this particular point which I just made. There was this little boy who used to love butterflies. He used to love butterflies so much that he could spend hours looking at the butterflies flying all around him. Then comes a time when he decides that he wants to see how these butterflies actually come into being. What are the stages of becoming a butterfly? So he goes to his garden and starts observing the plant where the butterflies actually lay their eggs. He sees those tiny eggs which has been laid by the butterfly, and he keeps observing them every day. One day he sees that there is a semblance of a caterpillar who's trying to come out of the egg. The caterpillar is struggling to come out of the egg. So what he does is he takes a small twig and gives a tap on the egg. And lo and behold, the caterpillar comes out. It's got a big head, and it goes around, nibbles on a few of the leaves, falls down and dies. Now the boy is shocked, he's upset, he's sad. And he goes to his dad and says, "Dad, why did this caterpillar actually fall down and die?" So his dad says, "What did you do?" He says, "No, I gave a small tap to the egg. The caterpillar came out with a big head, walked around, and he fell down." So his dad says, "Son, now that's the mistake you made. During the entire process of hatching, the caterpillar knocks the shell off the egg with his head, and he keeps knocking till his head becomes tapered. Now, if you see a butterfly's head, it's a tapered small head. But when you broke it, the caterpillar didn't go through the process of breaking the egg with his head, and thereby it came out with a big head, and because of which it fell down and died." So every process of metamorphosis has its own reason, own natural reason of evolution. And same way, if you want to be a truly transpowered leader, you need to go through the stages. There is no shortcut to it. Well, you can reduce the time frame by increasing your energy, your discipline, your efforts. Thereby, you can reduce the time frame, but you still have to go through these stages. There are 4 stages to go through in the process of becoming a truly transformational or transpowered leader. Stage 1 is called unconscious incompetence. To illustrate this stage more clearly, let me give an example of somebody who has never heard about what is a cycle. He or she is just not aware of what a cycle looks like, what a cycle can do. So we say that person is actually unconscious to the fact as to what is a cycle. And because she's unconscious or doesn't know what's a cycle, is also incompetent on how to use the cycle. Now coming to leadership in stage 1, when you're unconscious and incompetent, it actually means that you are not aware of leadership, let alone transformational leadership and transpowered leadership. So once you're unconscious about the whole factor of leadership, you're not aware of it, then you remain incompetent. So when you are assigned a role to be a leader of a team, of an organization, or an association, or anything, you actually are unconscious and incompetent of what is leadership and how to be a good leader. Now, keeping that scenario in mind, you actually are occupying that position of being a leader because of your designation or the authority imposed on you. But honestly, you have no skills, no ability to actually be a leader. Coming to stage 2 in this process of becoming a transpowered leader, this stage is called conscious incompetence. Let me go back to the bicycle, which I mentioned in the stage 1. In stage 1, we were not aware of what is bicycle, and hence we just would not be able to ride a bicycle. In this stage, we possibly know how a bicycle looks like. But with this awareness, if we just go and sit on a bicycle, we obviously will fall down. So just having an awareness is not sufficient. Now relating it to leadership, just because at this stage you're conscious and you're aware of there's something called as leadership, you go and start leading a team, you possibly again would not be able to lead a team effectively and efficiently. You'd not be able to make a difference in the team. So at this stage, we say that you're just aware of there is something called as leadership and you need to have the knowledge and the ability and the skill to lead a team. So at this stage, you're relying primarily on relationships. You're there in that position, you're aware there is something called as leadership, and awareness is just 50% of the journey. So you're relying on your relationship with people to hold on to your position. Now coming to stage 3, it is called conscious competence. In the example of the cycle, now you're aware of the cycle, how it looks, what you need to do when you get onto the cycle. You have all the knowledge and then you sit on the cycle, you practice, you balance, you ask for help, you ask somebody to help you, coach you, train you, and there you get going on a cycle. Same is true with leadership too. And this stage of conscious competence, you are possibly aware of what is leadership, what it takes to be a leader. You might possibly read or take a course on leadership, hire a coach, or get a mentor to teach you leadership and show you how to lead. So now that you acquired all this knowledge and the basic skills, you go on to implementing this at your workplace. When you go back to your team and start using these techniques which you have learned, you will become productive, you will get results, but you'll realize that you are the one who is doing the maximum things required to get the task completed and get the results. So we say that at this stage of leadership, you are using what we call as conventional leadership styles or what we call as transactional leadership. You're transacting with your team, taking care of them, looking into their needs. They in turn are helping you to achieve certain results. Stage 4 is unconscious competence. Going back to cycle, you are aware of what's a cycle, how a cycle looks like, you've gained sufficient knowledge, you've started practicing, getting onto the cycle, and you've been spending a lot of hours cycling around. So you slowly increase your ability and you reach a stage where getting onto the cycle, pedaling, balancing, and moving around comes very unconsciously to you, and hence it's called as unconscious competence stage. Now relating this stage to leadership, you reach a stage where you are now aware of what is leadership, you got trained, you got coached, you are mentored on the various aspects of leadership. You have practiced these skills over and over again with your team, and now you have reached a stage where it comes very naturally to you. You have reached a stage of unconscious competence. At this stage, you are evolving as a transpowered leader, displaying transformational leadership at all aspects of your work. someone who goes beyond the needs of people and influences them to follow his vision. Look at a larger picture, and rather than focusing on their needs or short-term unfocused goals, starts aspiring to scale heights which they have never gone before. At this stage, you might be a CEO of a corporate organization, you might be a team leader, you might be head of an institution, you might be leading a group of teachers, you might be head of an association. Wherever you are now using this newfound power of expertise to lead your team of people as a truly trans-powered leader. At this stage, your focus area is on transforming your followers or your team members into high-performance leaders who get the results which is required. You now play a role of a coach and a mentor, having all the expertise required to really guide your team to be a truly high-performing team of good leaders. As we went through this journey of understanding the various stages we go through to becoming a trans-powered leader, you'd have seen that as you evolved as a leader, you also evolved your leadership style. From being a conventional or a transactional leader, you slowly went on to becoming a trans-powered or a transformational leader. If I were to just summarize this up, a typical transactional or a conventional leader would actually be performing the functions of management such as planning, directing, controlling, budgeting, and measuring results. It's more an exchange process between the transactional leaders and their followers. Although they keep the organization running around smoothly, it takes more than these factors to lead an entire organization through major changes. So when the time comes to make major changes in the organization, to get the organization to really transform, this style of conventional or transactional leadership will not really hold water. For this, you need to be a transformational leader. A transformational style of leadership or a trans-powered leader tends to be more visionary and concerned about creating a vision and charting a mission and direction for the organization and its team. They have this ability to lead changes in the organization's goals, strategies, culture, and also promote innovation. In this episode, we saw the various stages required to go through to be a trans-powered leader. See you again in the next episode of Trans-Powered Leader. This is Malcolm Stephens signing off.